Hi, welcome to another episode of Beyond Chronic Disease. My name's Wendy Gathercole. I'm your host. How are you this week? Last week, I did an episode on why I only drink pasteurized cow's milk. If you listen to that, then you will know why. This week, I am doing another episode on a place to avoid if you've been diagnosed with Crohn's, especially. And if, like me, you find it difficult, it will eventually get easier. If you want more information, support on living Crohn's free, then hit the link and click on the Living Crohn's free link, and I will be able to contact you from there. Now, this place is just draws you in with the smells. Who doesn't like freshly baked bread? And who doesn't like sourdough, especially? Me. So just in recent weeks, I've managed to avoid bread. I've had a little bit, but not a lot, because I'm choosing not to have it. It's not doing me well at the moment. In different stages of life, or always I can eat something for a little bit, but then I guess when you OD on it, then it just sort of doesn't make you feel good. And because I listen to my body, I know my body, it sort of will hit me with something and I'll go, ooh, and I need to reevaluate what I am consuming, which is one of them is bread. Since I've been on this journey of eliminating food from my diet, processed foods namely, there are certain things that I just will not consume at all. I started to put some things back into my diet recently, some more of the junky sort of foods like, the cheeses and, well, cheese and some sweets, Christmassy sweets and things like that. And then it just all hit me one night and I was quite unwell. So then I have reevaluated my choices, which weren't doing my body well. So I've changed it up again. And this is why I believe that knowing your body is a foundational step in eliminating Crohn's from your diet. So if you know what makes your body feel good and what makes your body not feel good, then you're on the right path, and it makes it easier to eliminate or add into your diet. So the bakery is a biggie. The bakery is full of, I'm sorry to all the bakeries out there, but the bakeries are full of foods that are not conducive to a human being being well. They're just not. You have got breads, they're very bloaty, they're processed wheats and other wheats and barley and oats, and they're very highly processed. They've been laced with chemicals when they've been growing. All these things make us unwell. If you want to eat breads, you look for the more organic. Well, I believe the breads that made me feel better when I was unwell. I actually avoided all bread, to be honest, and I went to the Essene bread, which is basically a whole sprouted bread that is quite dense, and you'll only find it in the fridge section of a health food shop. So it's Essene, Essene. If you feel like you can't eliminate bread from your diet, then get some of that. I used to have it with peanut butter. Now, when you look at peanut butter is peanuts, and that's it. So when you buy peanut butter from the supermarket, when you look at the ingredients, it will consist of peanuts, oil, salt, sugar. Now, all in varying degrees. So that is processed. If you want whole, if your body can consume peanuts, which peanuts are not actually a nut, they're a legume. If you can consume them and they don't, you don't have any intolerances towards actual peanuts, then buying peanut butter from a health food store that has got the peanut machine there, or the peanut butter, the machine, the making machine, then that is your best source of peanut butter, because it will be just peanuts. Now, peanuts typically, when you make peanut butter, they have an oil of their own. So when you make it and it sits for a bit, you'll see some oil rise to the top anyway. So that's just a natural process of peanut butter. So when you go to, if you're in the supermarket and you're looking for a more natural peanut butter, the ones that you'll see that have an oil on top, go to them first. But be wary if it's canola oil that's been added to it. I'm not a fan of canola oil. Canola oil has caused a few issues in society, and there's lots of scientific evidence to say it's not doing our bodies well. But you do your own research on that. So getting back to it, if you're struggling to take bread out of your diet, what I did, I used a little bit of elimination to start with. I took all the everyday bread out of my diet. I put in a little bit of sourdough. I made it myself. And this was after, I was able to eliminate the pain in my body, because to start with, there was no way I was eating bread, because you just couldn't do it. But I was eating the Essene bread, like I said, with the peanut butter. Now, being sprouted grain bread, it is quite dense, and that's why I put peanut butter. I toasted it. It sort of made it, I was going to say taste a bit better. It's got a really different consistency to bread. It's not light and airy like bread. It's quite dense. And because it's made of whole sprouted seeds, and so the peanut butter made it taste better. That's just a little tip from me to you. And be aware, like I said, if you're buying peanut butter from the supermarket, you must read the ingredients, because you don't want that sugar and salt, because it's going to add inflammation to your already inflamed body. And that is why I say, if you cannot tolerate peanuts, well, then don't have peanuts. And definitely don't put Vegemite on there, because Vegemite is not conducive to our well-being, put it that way. So the bakery, unfortunately, if you're being diagnosed with Crohn's, I suggest that you steer clear of there. Anything that's it's highly processed. You've got all the sweets in there, the fake creams, the food colorings. Like it's not going to do your body any good. And we know that pastries are quite high in saturated fat, and being processed, they're not good for the well-being of our body. So I'm sorry to inform you that if you've been diagnosed with Crohn's, that the bakeries are off limit. It is a toughie, but then that's when you start looking at other alternatives. And when you start putting more whole foods, which is like, say, in my book, you start putting more whole foods into your diet and eliminating processed foods, you don't even feel like any processed foods at all. Like you're eliminating all the processed sugars and salts. When you're eating whole foods, you're getting all the natural sugars and the natural salts out of the food that actually, and it's bizarre how this works, but it actually makes you feel satisfied, and you don't even feel like having sweet stuff. Like dates, the medjool dates that you buy in the supermarket in the fresh food area in the fridge, not the ones that you buy on the shelf, the dried ones, but the fresh ones. You have one of them and see how sweet they are. They are so, so sweet that you don't even feel like the sweet things that the sweet treats that you buy from a bakery anyway. So once you start eliminating processed foods, it's amazing how much your body doesn't need them, doesn't pine for them. It really is. Like, as many women, we always go down the chocolate route. And yes, I've eaten chocolate, in recent months or whatever, but it's not the same as like years ago. It used to be that one of those things that you just pine for and you need, and you had it and you were satisfied. When I eliminated all processed food out of my diet and started making whole food chocolate, whole food, sweet treats, everything from whole foods, I didn't even feel like it. Didn't want it, didn't need it, didn't feel like it at all. So please, if you can, avoid the bakery products. Doesn't matter whether it's your local bakery or from the supermarket. All these foods are highly processed and they're going to make your inflammation worse, and you'll feel worse, and then you'll require more medical attention, and we don't want that. So if you can, avoid it. Like your life depends on it, because in actuality, it does. And until next week, I will see you then. Bye.